Hey everyone, this is Marbozir and this is Crusader Kings 2: The Old Gods. So this is something I've been thinking about for months now, and since The Old Gods DLC expansion was released just today, which is 28th May, I figured this is the perfect time to start a series, so that's what I'm doing. Now, if you never played Crusader Kings 2 before, and if you never heard of this game ever, then Crusader Kings 2 is a grand strategy game in which you play a member of a dynasty, and unlike many other grand strategies, you do not really play a country, you play a dynasty, like I already mentioned, so you play for your personal glory and for the glory of your dynasty. The states and countries in the game are more or less a collection of nobles with various agendas, and you're one of them. So the goal in Crusader Kings 2, the goal of the game is very open, as with most grand strategies, but at its core, the most basic goal of the game is to make sure your dynasty survives the game. Obviously, you want to aim for much more than just survival, and you achieve this through conquest, marriage and intrigue. That's pretty much the shortest explanation of what this game is that I can possibly manage. So, I want to avoid a long-winded introduction to the game while sitting on the intro screen, so I'm going to jump straight into the game. Now, The Old Gods DLC adds a new starting date, which is year 867, that's what I will be playing. And in this year, big parts of the map are pagans, and so I will be playing one of them. If I switch to religious view, all of these guys up here are pagans. Pretty much 1/3 of the map is covered with pagans, if not more than 1/3. So there are 3 recommended pagan rulers. I just decided to play one of them. It's going to be King Rurik, and he is right here. So that's what I will be playing. Let's just jump straight into the game. I don't think there's any point sitting on this screen for too long. Now, this is going to be pretty hard to balance between commenting about the basics of the game and skipping them, because I know some of you never heard of this game before, but some of you have been playing it for months, and I don't really want to spend too much time explaining the basics of the game, but on the other hand, I want this Let's Play to kind of make sense to people who didn't play it before, and that will be pretty hard to balance. But I will have to mention some of the basics. So the map in the game is split into counties. The county is the smallest territory in the game, like this one that I'm highlighting right now. The county is further divided into holdings. So each county has at least one holding, which is its capital. It also usually has other holdings that are these places down here. Each holding brings a tax, generates some armies, and has a 4th level. And there are 3 types of these: the castle, the town, and the temple. The castle brings the most troops, the biggest armies, but least taxes. The city has bad troops, but brings the most taxes. And the temples usually have decent troops and decent tax generation. That's on the most basic level how it kind of works. It's not necessarily like that with the temples, but that's the simplest possible explanation. Now, every county is part of a duchy, and this is one of the concepts in the game called de jure duchies, as well as de jure kingdoms. What this means is that every county is part of a duchy, and duchies are basically collection of counties which rightfully belong to that duchy, or at least are supposed to belong to it by law. So if I zoom the map out a little bit, this is a little bit more obvious with the color coding. Right now I'm using the de jure duchy view, so all of these color highlighted areas are duchies. So for example, this duchy right here consists of 3 counties, and these 3 counties are supposed to belong to this duchy by law. And this does not change for the entire game. You can only change this through mods, I believe. And this is important in terms of reasons for war, for example, but I won't be talking about that right now, that would take a little bit too long. But this is kind of an important concept to understand in the game. if you're planning to play it yourself, this can be a little bit confusing at first. So every duchy is also part of kingdom. So if I switch the map to de jure kingdoms view and zoom out a little bit, these are territories that are supposed to be kingdoms by law, but they are not necessarily being held by a single ruler right now. These are kingdoms that can be created. So for example, there's no such thing as the Kingdom of Rus in the game right now, but if I were to take most of these territories that are supposed to belong to the Kingdom of Rus, I could create the title myself and declare myself as King of Rus. So that's kind of how it works. I would need at least 51% of the territories, of the counties. Then I can pay and create a title. That's how it works. And then every kingdom is also part of empire. So for example, I can set a long-term goal, kind of for myself, to create the Empire of Russia. But obviously that's a very long-term goal. If I were to take majority of these territories, I could declare myself as emperor. But like I said, that's a very, very long-term goal. These are the empires in the game. So that's on the most basic level how territories work. So you have empires, then you have kingdoms, then you have duchies and counties at the most basic level. So these are the territories I hold right now, and before I unpause the game there are a few things I should do. So I'll start from the council. Now the council are 5 people that you can appoint to these positions that can perform various tasks for you. So there's Chancellor, which is kind of a diplomat kind of person. There's a Marshal, who's a bit of a kind of a military person. There's Steward, who can collect taxes, for example, oversee construction or research economy technologies. There's Spy Master, I think that's fairly self-explanatory. And there's the Seer, which is kind of a religious advisor. So I can and should give them various missions. And before I do that, I'll have a look at my vassals. So these are all of my vassals. My opinions are pretty good with all of them right now, it seems. Only this guy kind of doesn't like me. Now, opinions in the game are one of the core mechanics of the game, and this matters for many different reasons that I couldn't possibly cover in 5 minutes right now. But it's worth knowing that this number right here is one of... This is something that you will be kind of keeping track of for most of the game and trying to raise this. So, let's see. I'm going to appoint my council members before I unpause the game. As a general rule, you should always have these guys assigned to some tasks. So, before I do that, there are a few things that are worth mentioning in terms of, in context of pagan empires. So, some of the major differences between pagans and regular kingdoms are that pagans can declare war on any of their pagan neighbors without having to have any reason for war. Because in this game you can't just go to war with anyone around you, just decide you want to declare war on that dude and you just go do it because you want to. No, you need to have a reason for war, so-called casus belli. But the pagans don't need that. I can declare war on any of my pagan neighbors without needing any reason for that. But this works both ways. They can also declare war on me, if they don't like my face, for example. That's how it works. So a few other things that are worth knowing in context of pagans is the pagans can use rivers, they can navigate major rivers. Every Norse pagan faction or every Norse pagan ruler can navigate major rivers. They can also raid and loot other counties. If I'm at war with someone, I can loot his county, which as far as I know can even destroy buildings, I think. There is also a new technology system in the Old Gods, and revised buildings to fit the revised technology system. Another thing worth mentioning is that pagans can prepare invasions. I can declare my intent to attack one of the rulers, for example one of the Christian rulers down here, and the other pagans might join me for that. I'm not quite sure how that works just yet. This is pretty much my first game as pagans. There is a revised religious authority system, and in terms of pagans that matters because there are a few limitations the pagans have, and the biggest one that I can see is that I'm locked to Gavelkind succession law. And if you didn't play the game, and if you have no idea what that means, there are a few different succession laws in the game, which matter when you die. When I die, I will play one of my heirs. So when I die, I'm going to play as this guy, for example. And the succession law matters because this will determine, first of all, who I'm going to play, and second of all, which of my titles I'm going to inherit. And in case of Gavelkind, the titles are divided equally among my children, with the oldest one getting my primary title. So that also means that if I have multiple sons, then I'm going to lose some of my territories, basically. That's how it works. Gavelkind is only really good for very small territories, for small kingdoms. It's a pretty bad succession law that most people get rid of ASAP, but you can't do that as pagans. You are locked to Gavelkind. And if you want to get rid of Gavelkind, you have to reform the Norse faith, which is this option right here. And in order to reform Norse faith, you have to control holy sites. This is one of the other major changes in the game. Every religion, I believe, has its own holy sites. And so the Norse religion has 5 holy sites, I believe. If I go to religious map view, these are somewhere around here. This is the first one in Upland. That's the holy site. I should be able to see it on the tooltip. Yeah, this county contains the holy site of the Norse faith, as you can see on the tooltip. So this is the first one, the second one is up here. The third one is here. This is the fourth, and this is the fifth. And I think that's it. So if I control at least 3 out of 5, I can reform the Norse faith, as long as I meet other requirements, because this is not the only requirement, but this is the biggest one. I also need at least 750 piety, and my moral authority needs to be at least 50%. This is one of the long-term goals in the game, sort of. And once I reform my faith, I would be able to switch Gavelkind to something different. So I think that covers the basics and the differences of the pagans. You can actually see the exact perks of the pagans right here. I think I mentioned most of these. Oh yeah, the non-pagan armies that invade your territory get a large attrition penalty in pagan territory. Unless they have a big technology advantage, then that penalty is negated. So that's kind of nice in the early game and gives you a bit of an advantage, but it doesn't last forever, obviously. But yeah, I think this covers everything. I can also perform coastal raids anywhere. That's also kind of nice. So I believe I could declare war on any coastal county, ruler, whatever. Oh, he's not independent. But if I go to this guy, I can declare war on him, but I think he's pagan. Yeah, he's actually pagan, so that's just a subjugation war. Alright, so I was going to assign my council members to some tasks. So let's see. I could send this guy to collect some taxes. I'm definitely going to need a lot of money, so that seems like a good idea. I suspect I'm going to declare war on at least some of my neighbors very soon, so I'll change some troops with this dude to raise my levy size. As for my chancellor, I have pretty good relations with most of my vassals, so I don't think I need to raise my diplomatic relations with anyone. Maybe with this dude. But not really. Where is he? Oh, he's in my capital, isn't he? No, he's not. Oh yeah, he's here. I suppose I could raise my relations with him, but I could also send my chancellor... But here's the thing, I don't need to fabricate claims because I can use subjugation wars as my reason for war. So I could just send him to improve relations with that guy in the negatives. What else? Spy Master. I'll just send him to scheme in my capital to uncover any possible plots against me. He will have 32% chance to uncover a plot per year, so these are good chances. As for my seer, that's a good question. I could research some culture tech, that seems reasonable. I don't need to improve religious relations with anyone. Right, I need to pick an ambition. So, I already have a wife, which means having a daughter is probably the most reasonable one I can pick. I can also pick this ambition, become King of Rus. But the catch is, I can't cancel this. Once I pick become King of Rus, I'm locked to that. But I'm actually not that far away from getting that. This is Rus de jure kingdom. I would have to control at least 51% of these counties, I believe. So that means I have to conquer these guys to my east. But I think I'll start from having a daughter. So let's do that. And my heir is unmarried. I'll take care of that right away. He has decent martial ability and decent stewardship. I could get him a wife with a decent score as well to maximize that. Is he on my council? No, he's not. But he could be. He has 19 martial. And my marshal has 21. Okay, so he's worse. But let's see anyway. Maybe I can find something interesting, a good candidate for wife. Not a lot of choice here, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really see a big choice here. Yeah, this is bad, minus 5% fertility, I don't want that. Ambitious. Yeah, ambitious is not necessarily good, even though the stat bonuses are nice. But it can trigger some nasty events, I think. Elusive Shadow. Kind. I think she's pretty decent. No, minus 15% fertility, that's not good. Cruel. Zealous. +1 piety per month. Just. Humble. She's not too bad, and she has good opinion. Oh, I would lose 100 prestige from that. That's probably not good. That's definitely not good. Maybe I can get someone I won't lose prestige from. Yeah, I won't lose prestige from her. But I didn't take a look at her perks. Elusive Shadow. Just. Oh, she has minus 15% fertility. I'm not sure if I really want that. Seems a little bit risky, to be honest, but I don't know. She doesn't have any fertility penalties. And I won't lose any prestige. Okay, that's what I'm going for then. That seems reasonable to me. Okay, so I'm going to take advantage of the fact I can declare subjugation war on any of my neighbors and go after this guy. He seems to be the easiest target, to be honest. Or this guy here. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, let's declare war on him. But like I said, this works both ways. And my other neighbors could declare war on me while I'm fighting this guy. That's certainly possible, and I have to watch my back when I do this. So let's raise the armies. Now, if I raise my vassal levies, my vassals' armies, they are going to lose opinion if the armies are raised for too long, so I think I'm going to need the extra troops, but I don't want to keep them raised for too long. Yeah, he only has 500 or so. Oh yeah, now I can get gold or prestige because of the marriage. I think I'll go for gold, to be honest. I'm going to need the money. At least I have a feeling I'm going to need the money for mercs, for example. This is actually my first kind of proper game as pagans, so I have no idea how aggressive my neighbors are going to be. I'd rather keep enough gold to be able to raise some mercs. Okay, that's my steward, chief, whatever his name is. I don't care, and 80% chance of no effect, 10% chance to get slothful, and 10% chance to get arbitrary. Both of these are bad. Or I can question my steward. Yeah, let's do that, I suppose. Gain 5 prestige. That was nice. Okay, I'm going to conquer this guy real quick. Oh, he's at war with the other pagan dude. The red one. Whatever his name is. So I should probably hurry up with that. I'll start from this county down here. Let's move. No need to wait for everyone to get here. I'll speed up the game to 4. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. But that's okay. I have pretty good opinions with my vassals, so I can afford to have the levies raised for a bit. He's sieging my city, but I can probably take his city before he takes mine, then just go back. This is my actual capital, so I will be much faster than that. I should probably have a decent fort level here. Yeah, 3.50 fort level. And 3.0 fort level here. Not to mention I have 1.5k troops. So you guys hurry up. 99% already. And there we go, victory. I'll just stay here for a moment to take the city and the temple. That should be fast. Yeah, I need to hurry up with that. Actually, never mind that. Yeah, victory, let's go back. I need to go back here before he actually takes my county. This is my actual capital, so I don't want him to occupy that. Unpause. Yeah, you guys hurry up. 98%. Yeah, I'm actually going to lose this. Defeat. That's not great. I'll just take it back. Come here. This should be fast, hopefully. Only 47 defenders inside. So yeah, this will be fast. Then I need to hurry up back here. I could split my army in half, but I prefer keeping a big one right now. This is not a big war, and I don't want to risk losing this. Okay, let's go back. I should be able to make it before he can retake it. 46%. Interesting. There we go. Now I'm going to move into Tver or whatever. And once I take this, I should be able to enforce my demands. Oh, I was wounded, that's not great. I got that shade wounded. -1 martial and -1 health. Oh well, at least I didn't die. That could have happened. So here's the question, can I take this before he retakes the other castle? Who's that? I have no idea. Oh, that was the wife of my marshal. Whatever, I don't care about him. Yeah, I think I have to move back. I have to beat these guys before I can finish the war. So let's do that. You die now. I lost a lot of troops there. I'm down to 700, But now he won't be a threat. So back we go to Tver. How's my penalty now? -9 opinion. That's not too bad, could have been worse. I'm going to keep the vassals' armies until I'm done with this siege. That hopefully won't take too long. I'm surprised no one else really declared war on me yet. I know I would have taken this opportunity to declare war on myself if I was playing one of the other neighbors. Is he trying to siege me with 23 soldiers? Yeah, that's not going to work. 74. It's almost done. I might be able to press my... to force my demands as soon as I take the castle. I might have to take the temple and the village, but we'll see. Okay, let's pause and check it. And force demands? No, I have to take the city and the temple, I suppose. -12 opinion. Victory. Come on, finish this. 300 defenders. But that's only a temple, so they are about to have a bad time. There we go, now I can force my demands. Yeah, he surrendered, so accept. And there we go, I took these 2 counties. So... Oh, and now I could create the Duchy of Tver title. Which is the duchy, let's see. The Jure duchies. Oh yeah, it's only these 2 counties. So I don't think I really need that right now, not to mention that's rather expensive. But I could certainly do it later on in the game. But anyway, I'm going to finish it here. And one thing I'm going to say, I'm definitely not an expert at Crusader Kings 2, not by any stretch of imagination. So if you got any advanced strategies or tips to share, feel free to comment below. I'd appreciate any pointers. But for now, this video is done, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.